What's up guys, this is Nick from Stridewise.com, and today I have a pair of very, very ugly Clarks desert boots because I'm trying out a conditioner, one of the most popular conditioners on the face of the planet, Kiwi's conditioning oil. Now, despite the very New Zealand name, Kiwi was actually launched in Australia in 1906 by a guy with a New Zealand wife, and their shoe polish is enormously popular. In the US and the UK, they have like 2/3 of the market share, and in Malaysia, the word Kiwi has even become part of the Malay language, meaning to polish one's shoes. But today we're not working with the shoe polish, we are working in fact with their conditioning oil, which is one of the top 5 sellers on Amazon.com, and it's for use on oil tanned and other smooth leathers. So what's inside it? So all Kiwi really says about the ingredients is that it contains a rich blend of conditioners and that it nourishes and waterproofs leather. Like many shoe conditioning products, they're very cagey about the exact ingredients. I called them up though, I found out that it is not mink oil based as many people think it is. They used to have a lot of mink oil in their products, but Kiwi's conditioning oil today is a mixture of silicone, paraffin, and solvents. So the paraffin, that's a translucent waxy solid, which is flammable by the way, and it is not very oxygen permeable, so it's good at creating like a water resistant barrier around the shoe. It has a lot lower melting point than something like beeswax, so it's easier to apply, but on the other hand, it is not quite as good at waterproofing as beeswax is. The silicone, on the other hand, that also helps to create a waterproofing layer around the leather itself. Some people worry it can dry out the protein bonds in the leather. Other people think it's not really a big deal. There's a lot of controversies over shoe conditioning products. And the solvents, by the way, that helps to clean the leather. Some people worry that's also bad for the leather. It's going to dry it out. Other people think it's pretty good for cleaning because it evaporates pretty quickly. I mean, I think this is going to do a pretty good job of conditioning the leather, but you know what? Let's find out. So before I got these boots ready for conditioning, I made sure to give them a good clean because these actually belong to a friend of mine who has just never conditioned them. They were totally filthy, so I got this Leather Honey leather cleaner. This is not the leather honey they use for conditioning, it's a cleaner. You add a tablespoon of it to like 4 ounces of water and just kind of clean it like that. So that's what I've got here. The boots are very clean. I'm gonna give it a quick brush down to get rid of any dust as well. Now, a potential problem with conditioning oil from Kiwi is that it is in fact very hard. It's pretty hard to actually get onto like a cloth or something like that. They say you should use like a cloth or like a balm applicator, but the fact is that this needs to get warmed up a bit before it goes onto the boots. So I'm just gonna use my hands. So my hands are clean, let's get started. All right, so that ought to do it, and now you're supposed to wipe off the excess immediately and let it dry for a couple of hours. So I'm gonna do that. They're gonna come back in a couple of hours and see how they look. All right, so that has been about 3 hours since we originally conditioned these boots. And as you can see, I don't want to alarm you, but it has indeed darkened the leather pretty significantly. I was expecting that. This is very well known for getting really deep into the pores of the leather. The upside of that is that it really improves water resistance and sort of helps to weatherproof the boots. It's a real favorite for people who work in more industrial situations or really take their boots outdoors a lot. Downside, it does indeed darken the leather. Nonetheless though, it really has helped to make the color a lot more uniform. Even though the Kiwi conditioning oil is not a polish by any means, the color is way more consistent here, especially relative to this boot here, which still looks like a beat up old catcher's mitt. So upsides, definitely helps to remove these scuffs and discolorations, improves water resistance. Downsides, yeah, did change the color. So I just wanted to quickly compare the price of Kiwi with some other big competitors. These do not all contain the same ingredients, but nonetheless, they're all very popular for use on full grain leather boots. Here you've got Bic 4, it's about $1 an ounce. Venetian shoe cream is normally $3 an ounce. This big tub here is $1 an ounce, but normally it's in like a little jar like that, which is $3 an ounce. Red Wings mink oil is about $3.30 an ounce. Then you get some nicer ones like Cobbler's Choice here. It's between like $6 and $8 an ounce, and Sophia's Renovator, which is between $9 and $12 an ounce. Kiwi Here's 2 5/8 of an ounce, and it costs about $5, so it's $1.90 per ounce. So it's very reasonably priced as far as these sorts of products go. Not quite as cheap as Bic 4 or Lexol, which is another one that's very popular. Again, these all have different ingredients. Like the Sophia's Renovator is a blend of waxes, so is Venetian shoe cream, whereas Bic 4 here does not contain any wax at all. This is reasonably priced if this is the type of shoe conditioning product you're after. So I'm just going to quickly run through some pros and cons of this product so you can make up your own mind as to whether or not it's for you. Pros, it is inexpensive. It's going to be a big upside for a lot of folks. It also penetrates very deeply into the leather. That means you don't have to recondition it quite as often. It also means that it's really good for improving water resistance and weatherproofing. This is not a weatherproofing product necessarily, but it does definitely help to improve the water resistance if you're trying to do that while you condition the leather. Also, it makes the leather softer and more pliant. That's something I've noticed here in the texture of the leather as well. It also helps to clean the leather as you condition it, which is an upside. And then of course, there's the fact that it is very good at improving the color consistency in the boots, which, let's face it, is the main reason why a lot of people condition their boots in the first place. There are a few potential downsides with this product. Number one, it does darken the leather a whole lot. A lot of people are gonna be really bummed out about that. It's probably the biggest downside for this product. The boot, it definitely helped with the color consistency. It definitely helped to moisturize it. Definitely helps to weatherproof it. But if you're very attached to the color of your leather, especially if it's something quite a bit more expensive than these Clarks boots, like Chrome XL or something like that, you definitely won't want to use this product. Finally, a big downside is it's not going to really make your boots very shiny. It's going to darken them. So especially for dressier leathers, again, might not be the best option. All right, those are my thoughts on the conditioning oil from Kiwi. Long story short, it does cover up scuffs, it does improve water resistance, but it will darken the hell out of your boots. It's kind of up to you as to whether or not that is a downside or not. So let me know in the comments below if you like this product or if you have any other products that you prefer to use on your boots. And make sure you subscribe because I got a ton more boot reviews and boot care tips and other kinds of reviews coming up.